Hey guys, Mark Rogers with Thomas Scott News here. I just want to say thank you all. I didn't know what I was doing when I got into this. Oh, so far your response has just been overwhelmingly huge in support, and I just want to thank you. Like I did say in one of my first videos, it's up to us. We're the ones that are going to be telling our coworkers, friends, neighbors, and families about the flat earth. Thank you guys. It's up to us to do the groundwork. Anyways, thank you again. I really didn't know what I could bring to this. You know, I don't have production value. I don't even have Photoshop on my computer. Um, Low budget at best, but you know, I figured one of the things that really got me was I always scroll through the Yahoo newsfeed. And I always look at stories, and they've always just kind of made me laugh because, you know, once you read them in a different light, you're like, this story means that, this story means that, this story really means that. And, you know, Flat Earth didn't ever see it coming, still. Old, long time conspiracy guy, way back. But, yeah, left field. In fact, I'd looked into it previously when the Hollow Earth, and I'd looked into that with the Admiral Byrd and the North Pole, talked about that. But totally discounted it, but it was just real to me. And one of the things, you know, and Santos Bonacci does a great thing about synchronicity and syncretism, and I just found more and more stories in Yahoo News that was like, science is guessing about God. There's another symposium on whether we live in a simulated hologram. We may have found a new planet in the solar system. We think we can explain dark matter. We think the universe is expanding. We think the universe is shrinking. And man, these stories, I used to eat them up. But now it just really tells you they're still friggin' guessing. And I wish they'd have been blunt and honest about that. So I love just reading the headlines, and I don't click on a lot, but if something's interesting, I'll click on it, and you know, then you can dig deeper from there. But just interpreting the basic headlines and giving it the story a glance as I'm scrolling through, is, you know, it just kind of makes me laugh what they pass off for news and what they're trying to get us to watch and pay attention to. So I figured some interpretations on that would be delightful. So I'll try to keep bringing commentary on what I read on Yahoo News, and I mean, you know, true or not, I'm just bringing you what they're telling you. My commentary is my own. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for paying attention, and you know, if you don't like it, that's fine. Don't watch my videos. Tommy's got a bunch of crazy stuff going on. We're just different, but we're best friends, and I love him to death. He's smarter than he puts on, let me tell you that. But I think most people are in a lot of ways. It's up to us to express it and get it out there. One of the big things about the synchronicities, when I first started looking into Flat Earth, I saw a Yahoo News story. It was about the Chinese nuclear ballistic missile range. And it was showing a circle, you know, shaded in red where they could launch a missile and hit somebody. And it was a flat earth map, and this was from the DoD. I screenshotted it. I could bring that up. We'll do that if you want. You can look at it, old story from late 2015. And it just totally used the flat earth map, and I was thinking, well, right, because if it's not a globe, the only way they can hit us is firing over the North Pole. And that's exactly what the ring showed. It was funny to me, but again, synchronicity. And then another big thing was I was talking to my uncle about satellites and things like that, and one of the news stories was now they have a new drone that has continuous unmanned self-propelled flight. So a solar-powered rechargeable drone, never needs refueling, now ready for use. And I mean, if they're admitting they're ready for use, it's 50 years old. So the drone technology being able to float up there continuously, and they admitted that. That was again a 2015 story. And then one of the kickers was one of Jaron's old videos from Jaronism, and I looked up everything I could flat Earth, man. I mean, for, against, yes, no, love it, hate it. Yeah, I needed to know. I needed to know everybody's input on it. Maybe why you're watching me now. But he had the Google Loon proves flat Earth, and I saw the story in Yahoo News about the blimp. It was either South Carolina or Virginia, somewhere on the East Coast. A Navy blimp had broke its tether, and it had fallen lower to the ground, and it was dragging, and the tether like took out telephone poles for miles. It caused damage dragging this big, huge cabled tether. And that really made me look into, of course, Jaron's video and just NASA's using blimp technology, and everybody's using blimps to communicate instead of satellites, and now it's moving to drones. It's weird how things like that were in the news as a beginning to my journey. So now I just look through things and write them down as they come up, do what I can. I mean, of course, if it's Kardashians or Kanye, sadness. But even they have their own messages. I'll give them all that. Anywho, just wanted to say thank you guys. And yeah, Thomas got us 450 subscribers, and I have no clue what I'm getting into here. I'm just going to try to keep it real, keep it funny, and really make you think. Hopefully bring up some things you may not have thought about before, and kind of share what I've learned that week, because it's a continual journey. It's a really amazing time in history, and we are the true explorers of the new frontier. That's not cliche. It's what it is. So, love and light. Thank you all again very much. I just want to say, as far as to Caveman on the political forum, my first vote was for Ross Perot. I thought way back then we needed a third party. Left, right, up, down, gay, straight. Didn't matter to me at all at that time. The only thing I cared about was like this two-party system is BS. It's controlled opposition. They fund both sides of the wars. It's all throughout history. From the Rothschilds funding the French and the English, all the wars throughout, all the manufactured wars throughout the United States history, throughout the Iran-Contra affair, where we supported Saddam Hussein and sold him the weapons to gas the Kurds. We sold him the chemical weapons that he used on the Kurds that we hung him for 30 years later, because he quit selling oil in dollars. That's a no-no. Anyways, but the whole time while we were funding Saddam Hussein back then, we were also funding the Iran people with drugs for money and weapons, and it's just ugly as crap. But that's our history, man. You really got to wake up to it. So as far as the political spectrum, I knew everything was a joke. I mean, it's WWE politics. Trump, Bernie, Hillary, they all laugh together in the same clubs we're not allowed to go into. Look at the Bush-Clinton empire. Look at how Bush called Clinton a prodigal son. You want to get deep, look into Mena, Arkansas, look into Barry Seals, look into Whitewater, the Rose Law Firm in Mena, Arkansas. Look how Clinton was doing something dirty down there. Look into George Bush, look into Zapata Oil, offshore oil companies, the true Cuban connection, and things like that in relations to JFK even. Interesting, George Bush never worked for the CIA before he was appointed deputy director. How did he get credentials working to be the boss of the CIA without ever working for the CIA prior? Long stories. Political forums, I don't get into it, man. I am a registered Republican. Surprised yet? I registered for Ron Paul, and I registered Republican so I could vote in the primaries, and I did. That's the last time I voted, and then I wrote in Ron Paul. And after that, when he won every election and got cut off and denied, it was game over, man. I mean, there's just no hope. And the fact that we have a Trump, Hillary, Sanders, and nobody else, or possibly a Bush. I mean, if you want to run another Clinton and another Bush, since I was a kid, I remember people talking crap about Carter. I remember people talking crap about Reagan, even. I mean, before he became the god of inflating money and making the 80s so prosperous that everybody loved him, no matter what he did or how he did it. It's always been the lesser of two evils, and now it's just like, who do you hate? And that's what's sad, because they can't prop up a good guy and a bad guy. They can't do that anymore, because then the good guy would lose all confidence. It has to be two people that you hate. It's the psychology behind it, and it really is all a warped mind control take on society. So voting, caveman, cast your vote if you feel like it. I don't. I won't. And I won't feel bad. And people who say that if you don't vote, you have no right to complain, well, I'm sorry, man. There's not a single representative that represents me. And if you're asking me to vote Hillary, or vote Trump, or vote Sanders, or vote Bush, I will vote no confidence, because that's the only vote I have. But I would write in Pizza T. My boy's making a run for president just like he always does. And hey, I will tell you this, man. As far as my thoughts on voting, a vote for Pizza T, a vote for King Vermin Rat, or whatever his name is up there, a vote for Mike the Mover, a vote for write in Mickey Mouse or write in yourself. That vote counts more than voting for Trump or Hillary or for Sanders or writing no confidence. No confidence will get thrown out. Those votes for the big three, they're going to get electronically counted by a Diebold machine, and they're going to be projected on the screen who won. If you write in a vote, they actually have to physically make a record of it, or supposedly they're supposed to. So make them work for it. So I would say, vote in, write in Pizza T. And I'd say that vote counts more than any other candidate. That's just my piece. There's none of them that's going to do any good. They're all bought and paid for by the same masters. They have the same lobbyists funding the Republicans, the same lobbyists funding the Democrats. And Trump got his money, and you tell me he's not Illuminati and he's going to do this and get us out of all that? They won't let it happen, folks. The only way we can do it is grow a garden wherever it's still legal. I believe in that. I believe in forming communities ready for when stuff hits the fan. I couldn't agree with Max Igan more on that, much as I was disappointed. And that's all I'll say about that, but it's true. It's about forming groups, small communities, keeping it local, being able to get off the grid. Because the grid probably ain't lasting much longer. I don't like to be doom and gloom. Just how much longer are we going to be allowed to destroy ourselves until we're utterly amused ourselves to death? They took 1984 and A Brave New World and combined it into this utopian control Big Brother nightmare. And I can't believe those two books would ever mix, but look around, folks. I'll keep bringing you the news as I see it. Thank you. This has been an incredible journey. I love you all. Love and light. keep spreading the truth and just keep putting more videos out there. I could get off about the metadata, but I'm cutting out on time. Love you guys. Take care.